better public speaker? In this video, we're going to talk about just that. If you are a individual that has been a public speaker or you are planning an event where you will be speaking in public, this is a good video for you to review. Now, this topic specifically is a bit more advanced because if you are already speaking in public or about to speak in public, that means you are at a higher level as a leader. And I'm going to share with you 4 insights or strategies rather to help you be prepared to use what you have as an individual, as a leader, that will help you be able to speak better in public. Now, I'm sharing with you over 20 years worth of experience as a public speaker. And I've spent a lot of time communicating over the years in different leadership roles I have. And what I'm going to share with you are some insights that people aren't really talking about on YouTube, and I'm sharing them with you because I have a bit more of a different type of perspective as it relates to public speaking. If this sounds like something you are interested in and you want to learn more about it, then you absolutely want to watch this video until the end because you do not want to miss out on these insights that will help you become a better public speaker. Now, if you are new to me, my name is Dr. Jacinta, and I am so glad that you are here with me today. If you are joining for the first time, or if you are one of my amazing subscribers or followers, depending on what platform you're watching this on, I'm glad to have you back. This topic is a great topic, and I want to give a special shout out to Bishop Burton. He came up with this topic earlier today during a live when we had a leadership Q&A. And specifically what he asked was, how can we use our tools, or how can we become better as speakers? And I'm going to go into a couple of those in just a few moments. This is a live video. Therefore, there is a point in time when the audience will join the conversation. And when they do, give me just a few moments so I can say hello to everyone, and then we'll go right into some of these strategies that can help you to become a better public speaker. Now, you may be wondering, who am I and how do I know about public speaking? Well, let me give you some insight for those of you who are new to me. I have been a public speaker for over 20 years. And a lot of the time that I spent public speaking was doing different types of leadership roles. So I've worked as a C-suite executive, I've worked as a director, I've worked as a manager, and I've been in those very friendly and very contentious situations that happens in the wonderful world of leadership. I've also had the chance to work at different types of organizations over the years. I've interacted with congressional leaders on the national level here in the United States, and I've also became a distinguished Toastmaster. If you're not familiar with Toastmasters International, it is a world-renowned public speaking organization. In this organization, they have about 358,000 members worldwide, and only 1% of them accomplish the Distinguished Toastmaster Award, which I did in 2019. So I have some insight on speaking in public. I've been on the news, I've done different types of settings, and so I want to share with you really my expertise that I have learned that can help you on your journey. So I want to say hello to those of you who have joined today. We're talking about how to become a better public speaker. If you want to learn more about this and you are trying to elevate yourself, or you are going to become more visible, maybe you got a promotion and you're in a different role and you know you're going to be in front of people a lot, then this is the absolute best video for you to watch today. So I want to say hello to Sean Perot, 4521 says, okay, hello, Sean, how you doing today? Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you all are joining from today, and what questions do you have? No question is a silly question as long as it's focused on the topic. Because if you watch YouTube for any point in time, you know there happens to be trolls sometimes. But any questions you have as it relates to becoming a better public speaker, this is the best place for you to do. Best place for you to ask these questions. Learn from my over 20 years of experience of being a public speaker to go to that next level in your career. And if you like this information, you may want to subscribe to my channel. I focus on advanced communication skills for leaders that will help you be able to communicate more confidently and concisely when you are under pressure. So I want to say hello to CPVM20. Hello, how you doing today? CPVM20 is from Ecuador. Hello. Let me know where you all are joining from today. Now, as I mentioned, this video is for Bishop Burton. He asked this question earlier today about how can we use our tools to become better public speakers. So I'm going to share with you Four strategies, and depending on where our conversation goes, it is Friday, so I have a little bit more time, but depending on where the conversation goes, we'll go into more strategies depending on what questions you have specifically. So the first strategy, or insight rather, I would say when you're trying to use your existing tools to become a better public speaker, is to focus on your strengths. Now, everybody has some strengths. You have some kind of strengths. And this is something that everybody has to take a few moments to think about what they are. So if you're not sure of what your strengths are, think about when you speak to other people, what do they say about you that they automatically notice that's really important? What is it? They may say, wow, I love your tone of voice, or I love how you laugh, or I really enjoy when you speak to us about a certain topic, or I like it when you try to have this conversation. What are your strengths? So my first insight is to really think about your strengths and what are they. Before I go into the second one, I want to say hello to LMTRIBST6V. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing well today. As I mentioned, what are your strengths? What are the things, what are the skills that you are just naturally good at? And why do I mention that? Because we need to enhance those strengths. So many people, when they talk about public speaking, or if you're looking at public speaking lessons online or etc., they talk about the actual speaking part of it, right? But I'm going a bit deeper because I know what you really need to become a better public speaker. Now, if you are just joining, feel free to let me know what part of Big Beautiful Words you are joining from today, and what questions do you have as it relates to becoming a better public speaker. Let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it today. I mentioned the first insight is to determine what your strengths are. What do people compliment you on all of the time? And once you figure that out, then we need to make sure those strengths are at the forefront of every conversation, every presentation, every speech that you have. Now, I'll give you an example. I had a client of mine last year that was preparing for a conference. Now, the two of us worked together for several months to prepare her for a conference. And what we did was we did focus sessions to speak. She practiced her presentation. I gave insights. We practiced, gave insights, and etc. Because she knew that this was going to be a very highly visible moment for her because she was speaking in front of a conference. So what does this have to do with strengths? Some of her natural strengths that she had was that she was able to modify her tone of voice in a way to where you could truly feel what she was saying. So at times when she had to lower her voice and make it very quiet and soft, you could really feel that conversation went into a different direction. And one of the things that will help you to become a better speaker, and this is not my insight, but this is something I want to share based on where we are right now, is that how you make your audience feel about your topic presentation is much more important than what you say. If your audience can feel energy from you, if they can feel emotion from you, whether it's happy, sad, frustrated, angry, upset, celebratory, any type of emotion, if your audience can feel that from you, then you will automatically be at a higher level as a speaker. Many speakers do not understand how to bring emotion into the conversation. And if you want to learn more about being able to do that, and you know you are going to be in more highly visible roles, and you want to really engage your audience, then contact me if you're a woman in leadership for a strategy session in the description below. I have different resources. I have public speaking lessons I do with my clients, specifically, as I mentioned before, and many other ways I can support you. But public speaking lessons will definitely help you go to that next level in terms of how you communicate. Now, as I mentioned, bringing emotion is very, very important when you're trying to become a better public speaker. Your audience has to feel what you're saying. And before I go into the next one, I want to preface this by saying, now that we know what your strengths are, what are your strengths? What are you naturally good at? And whatever you are naturally good at, that needs to be a part of your presentation because you are just naturally good at it. You're very gifted at it. So let's make sure your strengths are even stronger when you are in front of a group of people. First insight. Second, off-topic insight is make sure you have that energy. Your audience needs to feel your energy. And the way you do that is really my second insight for you. The one I just mentioned is a bonus. The second one specifically deals with your stories. Now, we had a new subscriber, a new viewer rather. I don't know if she subscribed or not, come to the channel earlier today, and she mentioned about, well, how can we use our stories to lead us into alignment? And our stories are very, very important. So whatever stories you have as it relates to your personal life and etc., those are going to be so incredibly important when you are talking to an audience. Why? Because your stories are your stories. These are experiences that you have actually dealt with, you've lived through, you've been through them, and you've been through these stories. So when you communicate them to an audience, they will automatically bring in emotion. Because you've been through it, you felt it, you know how you felt, you will bring emotion to it. And this is a great way to help you use your existing tools as a leader to help you be a better public speaker. Now, I want to know from you, if you're watching the live or watching the replay, what are some aspects of public speaking are you struggling with? Let's talk about them. Let me know in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, you're welcome to put your comments in there. I will respond to your comments, and depending on what you ask, I may do a video just for you to talk about your comment. So as I mentioned, we went through the two main areas so far. So for those of you joining, welcome, welcome. The first strategy to help you be able to become a better public speaker is to know your strengths and make sure you are taking advantage of your own strengths. When you are speaking in front of a group of people, your strengths need to be at the forefront of every conversation, every presentation. This is your unfair advantage that you have over other people. So what is it? So we can make sure you're using it every single time. Number two, the second insight I want to share with you is to make sure you are using your stories. Your stories will bring that emotion that is much needed when you're trying to speak to a group of people. Your own stories, you will bring emotion to it, and your audience will feel it. And if you can engage your audience and make them feel what you're feeling or the emotion you want them to feel, then you will automatically set yourself apart from majority of the speakers that are out there. My third strategy for you, and this one is very important, is your body language. Now, your body language will tell a lot about what you are discussing as a public speaker. For example, if you are saying something and you want to make it a big statement, when you are speaking in public, if you are in a virtual setting, it's a little different, but if you're speaking in public on the stage, you have to almost make your body movements and your gestures a bit more exaggerated. Now, I'll go into more detail on that if you have some questions, but you have to make your body movements and your body gestures a bit more grandiose, so to speak, when you are speaking in front of a group of people. If you are speaking in front of a group of people and you need to say you have something big, even though I'm kind of trapped in the cell phone right now, but your hands need to be pretty big up here if you're trying to make that statement. So this is an expert skill. This is something that I work with my clients on in public speaking lessons. So if this sounds like a topic, or if you like what I'm saying and you feel like this is something that could truly benefit you, then contact me. I have this on my website at www.exciteexcellence.org and schedule a public speaking lesson with me. Now, as I mentioned, this is a great way for you to be able to help your message come across by using body gestures. Now, I do want to preface one other thing to you. And I listened to someone, and she is an influencer here. I will not say her name, but she's a content creator here on YouTube, and she did a video about another person, and that is a bit more political, I would say. And she did a video, and she didn't really understand what she felt like people were trying to manipulate other people by using music when they were speaking. And I want to mention this to you because body language is important. If you have the ability to have music, that's important too. All of this draws on emotion, right? When you are trying to speak in front of people, you are trying to inspire them, to motivate them to take action or do something. And if you're a very experienced public speaker, then you know that music is something that's very important. If you look at a lot of political leaders or other leaders in the world, they don't necessarily have to be political. They could be in the entertainment industry, they could be actors, they could be whoever. You may notice that when they come out, there's some music that's being played. And this is something to keep in mind when you are thinking about speaking in public. If you have the ability to have music be played, then that helps the audience to get a sense of who you are as a person. Now, that can work for you or can work against you. I was at an event where they had some music playing for people when they came out, and it was upbeat, I suppose, but it was just a lot of like cursing and things like that. And I thought to myself, wow, I don't think I would want to come out to music like that. It just kind of, for me as a professional, it sets me apart. That's not what I want to hear. But everybody can do whatever they want to do. But I'm just mentioning to you that music is important. The reason I mentioned it specifically about this particular content creator on YouTube is that she was commenting on a topic that she had no knowledge about. And if you're not an experienced public speaker, if you've never spoken in front of a large group of people before in your life, and you haven't been at the point where you've actually spoken in public, not necessarily just only on YouTube, then you do not have the depth and the knowledge to understand that music doesn't make a public speech turn into a cult. It makes the audience feel the emotions. If you look at any of Tony Robbins, like his videos when he's in front of a stage, or if you've been to any of his virtual events, which I've attended several of them, he plays music. He does. And Tony Robbins is a phenomenal public speaker. So it's something just to keep in mind. I know this is going a bit off track from what we discussed, but everything I'm sharing with you is truly that next level of expertise. And if you're trying to speak in public, you want to be the best. You don't want to be average. If you want to be average, then you would not be watching this video. If you want to be above average, then this, my friends, is the best home for you to be at on YouTube. So music is something that can benefit you as well. Don't think that music is something that plays on people. Music is there to help bring emotion. That's why people listen to music all the time. They listen to music to bring emotion. You can use this as a public speaker as well. Use your own tools. Think about, what do you want the audience to remember you by? And as I mentioned earlier, when you're speaking in front of a group of people, be very careful in terms of what you select, because that music you select, it can be music that's meaningful to you, and it should be. But just keep in mind that people are going to have this perception of you. As I mentioned, when I was at an event and the person came out, or several people came out to like bleep, 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 bleep. To me, as an experienced public speaker, I took a step back and said, wow, okay, I will listen to what they have to say. But in my mind, in my perception, I'm thinking, okay, this person, even though they may be doing very well, they may have made millions and millions of dollars, I'm on a different level than they are professionally. So I wouldn't necessarily want to buy into something that they're doing, because I don't interact like that. I don't interact by cursing people and stuff and etc. I just don't do that. But as I mentioned, music can be something you can use as a public speaker as well to help you be able to be a better public speaker. Now, the next strategy I want to share with you, and this is my fourth one. We talked about 3 so far, and welcome for those of you who are here today. Let me know what part of the big, beautiful world you are joining from today. But we've talked about 3 strategies, insights so far that will help you to become a better public speaker. Number 1 is to focus on your strengths. Number 2 is to truly focus on your stories. That's how you will bring out emotions. These are tools that you have existing right now. Number 3 is your body language. This is very, very important. And I'm going to go into number 4 in just a few moments. But we did do a slight detour. We talked about energy, and we talked about emotion with your audience as well. And we also talked about music. If you have music, or if you have the ability to play music, that's something that you can use as a tool as a public speaker. Now, number four, my fourth strategy I want to share with you today, and this will be my final strategy depending on the questions that you have. My fourth and final strategy is to focus on your tone of voice. Now, when you're speaking in front of a group of people, your tone of voice is everything. It has a very, very big factor on how your audience perceives your message. And it's important for you to raise your voice, lower your voice, change the depth of your voice when you need to, depending on what you're talking about. Now, let's say, for example, you are trying to talk about a time when you were sad. You may want to lower your voice and not make it as elevated as it normally would be if you were speaking about a topic that you were extremely happy about. Now, I will share with you one exception that I have noticed, and this is a very unique exception that I've actually observed myself. For me, as a public speaker, for someone that has a different type of voice where they are still a public speaker, your tone of voice means a lot. Lowering it, increasing it, enhancing it, making it louder, making it softer, all of the many things that I talk about here on my channel will help you with your tone of voice, especially if you're speaking in public. Now, as I mentioned, if you need some support with this and you know you're going to be in a very visible role, maybe you have a presentation that you are working on, a conference that you're presenting at, and you know this conference could completely change your life, that is why you reach out to me. Contact me for a strategy session in the description below so we can talk about where you are. And if you already know that you're ready to get some support from me, then you're welcome to look at the public speaking lesson that I have on my website under products and services. The website is www.exciteexcellence.org, and you'll see some information about public speaking lesson. You will become a better speaker with this. You are learning over 20 years worth of insight in your public speaking lesson. I've helped many of my clients present at conferences, and to give you a point of reference, the client that I referred to earlier that was presenting at a conference, she did so well at her conference that she has been asked to speak at other conferences as well. This is what I do. This is my expertise. This is what I'm incredibly passionate about, and especially as it relates to my subscribers and the wonderful women in leadership and the men in leadership that are following my content. I want to help you be very successful, but there's only but so much I can do for you here on YouTube or via video. There comes a point in time where you have to work with me, invest, and get yourself in a situation where you are getting that one-on-one individualized and customized support that you need. Many of my clients have completed the executive communication analysis. This is something that allows you to get a very in-depth view in terms of how you are speaking and communicating in your day-to-day interactions. So if you're trying to really fine-tune your skills and you know you're going to be more visible this year, then you absolutely want to reach out to me. So I've shared with you four insights. I've compressed 20 years of my life into 22 minutes so far to help you be able to learn some insights that people may not be talking about as it relates to public speaking. Now, there's many, many more. There's a lot more insights to help you to become a better public speaker. But I did want to make sure that I gave Bishop Burton, and I appreciate him so much for coming up with this topic so that we could talk about it and give him something to work with. If you have any questions specifically as it relates to this topic and you want some more insight, then let me know in the comments below. I'm here to support you any way that I can as you are trying to elevate how you are communicating as a leader. Now, I will share with you a couple of, I would say, additional bonuses to this topic because I want to share with you many things that people get wrong about public speaking, just really quickly. If you want me to go into more of it, then I will. So one of the things that people get wrong about public speaking is that people feel, and this has been just what I've seen, people will feel as if I've done public speaking, I'm a TEDx speaker, I can speak in public to other people, and I'm good. I don't need to train anymore. I don't need any additional support or anything like that. I will tell you, as a seasoned public speaker, for 20 years, I still look for support. I still look for support to make sure that I'm elevating how I'm communicating. So if you happen to find someone and you interact with them and they are telling you, oh, I'm okay, I don't need any help public speaking, well, you might want to think about it. This is something just to keep in mind. We all should be learning and growing as much as we can as we are trying to elevate ourselves. One of the things that people forget, and I don't want you to forget this, just because you speak in front of people, just because you have been in TEDx, just because you have been in a conference, does not mean you are able to communicate under pressure. These are two totally different scenarios, and I believe people just sometimes get them confused because they think, oh, I can speak in public, I'm good, I don't need any help with anything. But what happens when you have a heckler in your audience? What happens when you have a Q&A session that goes in a very wrong direction? What happens when someone tries to argue with you in your presentation? That is what you come to me for, to prepare yourself for those awesome situations that can happen and for the challenging situations that can happen as well. So I want to say hello to OZN3T. Welcome back. How you doing today, friend? I appreciate your compliment. Hope you are doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, OZN3T. So I'm glad you're back. But as I mentioned, being able to do this is very, very important. You want to be able to speak at a higher level, and just keep in mind you need this. So I want to say hello to Cookville Taxi. Hello, Cookville Taxi. How are you? Good to see you again, and welcome back, friend. Now, as I mentioned, many people think because they're public speakers, they can handle themselves under pressure, and that may not necessarily be the case. This is the reason why you reach out to me, you contact me, because conducting yourself under pressure is different than speaking in front of a group of people. Why? Because when you are speaking in front of a group of people, you've already practiced, you've already rehearsed, you've went over it at least 1,000,000 times. Well, maybe not quite 1,000,000, but quite a bit. You've done all those things. You have it in your mind. But what happens when you're under pressure? That is the gap that I have found on YouTube, is that people talk about speaking. Well, what happens when you're under pressure? That's why this is the best channel on YouTube to learn a bit more about communicating confidently and concisely under pressure. Now, for those of you who have just joined, welcome, welcome. I'm glad that you're here today. We have went over a lot of information in a very short amount of time. I have shared with you over 20 years worth of my life in 26 minutes now. And I do this because I want you all to be successful. And I know how it is when you're trying to become a better public speaker. You may not know exactly who to speak to, how to speak to them, how do you gain information, etc. There's a lot of well-known people out there that are really great public speakers that have good insights to share about how you communicate to your audience, how you engage your audience with questions, and all of those strategies I do talk about here on my channel. However, under pressure is what's missing. Even some of your well-known public speakers that are out there, sometimes they struggle with under pressure too. They're not exactly sure what to say and how to say it, which is why you absolutely want to make sure you are in a very good position if you're trying to elevate yourself and you know you're going to be more visible this year, to make sure that not only do you have your speech presentation memorized and you look nice, you're using your body language, you're using your tone of voice, you're using your stories, you're using your strengths and all those wonderful things we talked about. But don't forget, you need to be prepared to go under pressure at all times. And I know you may think, oh, that's too much, that's too extra. Well, I work with individuals that are specifically trying to change their lives. And I have found that if you can learn how to speak in public, it will change your life. It will change your career trajectory. It will change your path to success. It will accelerate your path to success, and it will also help you to earn more income. And if you're interested in earning more income and you're a woman in leadership and you know you want to fine-tune your voice and really be able to communicate at a higher level than your peers, then contact me for a strategy session in the description below, or sign up for a public speaking lesson that is on my website. I hope this information has provided you all with some insights. There's a couple of videos that I would highly recommend for you to take a look at that will help you to become a better public speaker. A few videos, now there are many videos that are on my live tab, but a few videos you absolutely want to take a look at would be your tone of voice, eye contact, anything that's related to body language and how to control your body language and etc. Those categories of live videos will help you be able to communicate at a higher level than your peers. If you have any other questions, you all are welcome to contact me. And if you are a follower or a subscriber to my channel, I'm so grateful to have you here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I just enjoy when you come to the lives and say hello. This process has been so incredibly fun to me. I enjoy interacting with so many of you that are in different parts of the world. I just wanted to let you all know that I appreciate you being here and asking some really amazing questions. And if you have any of your family members, your colleagues, your peers, even if they're not in my direct audience of women in leadership that I provide executive coaching and consultation services to, contact me. Send in my information because I'm here really to support you. Whether you are a woman in leadership in my direct audience, or you are a man in leadership, or someone that is thinking about becoming a leader, but you're just not there just yet, then feel free to send my information over to them. They will learn a lot. I guarantee you, everyone will learn something from the channel, whether it is a fact you didn't know, a strategy you have not thought about, or an insight you just did not know that existed. This is a channel for you. If you're really trying to elevate how you are communicating as a leader, I say this confidently. This is the, I would say, one of the best channels on YouTube to be at here. I know right now the channel is small, but the channel will grow very big at some point. But this is the best place because I will help you be able to communicate under pressure confidently. So I appreciate you all. I hope you have an absolutely amazing weekend. Next week is a very, very special week for me. And I want to just remind you all that I will be going live in the morning, in the evening, my normal time. We're back on schedule for the most part. And so if you have any questions or you have a challenging situation you're dealing with, you're struggling with, and you just want to have a sounding board in terms of how do I manage this as a woman in leadership? What do I do? How do I say it? How do I navigate this challenge? Then come to the lives and just learn. If you are not able to make it, no problem. Leave me a message on Instagram at Excite Excellence, Dr. Jacinta Lamata on LinkedIn, or at Excite Excellence on LinkedIn. Also, I'm on Facebook as well with those same handles. And then, of course, here on YouTube. Ask me any questions. People come to me for the hard things, for the hard situations, the hard, complex circumstances. How do you say what you say in a way that's not hurting people's feelings, but it still gets the message across? All of that. That is my expertise, and I'm here to really showcase that to you and help you any way that I can, regardless of where you are in the world today. So I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I will see you all next week. Bye for now.